Hey everybody, Adam Davis here again with some more kind of information about the market. It's not a crash. It's just not. The market was insane, like certifiable for the last 2 years, going on into year 3. And finally, in the last 2 months or so, we've started to kind of crest and come back down into reality. Inventory is still out of whack. We're still about 2 months shy of a normal healthy inventory in Portland. We're still about 6 months shy of that inventory level in Lake Oswego, West Linn. Homes, 40% of homes, this is a national statistic, but 40% of homes are selling for full list price. The reason why people discount, the reason why people dial back their pandemic high prices into reality is because they want to do something quickly, and that's fine. You know, it doesn't mean that the market is tanking. It doesn't mean that your own home value is gonna collapse. So if you're basing your sale off of whether or not the market sucks, just realize a couple of things. One, home ownership is one of the strongest, most powerful hedges against inflation you can have, because you lock in your interest rate, and as soon as inflation takes off, you're paying weaker dollars against your whatever locked in interest rate. So you're buying at a discount, even whatever your rate is. So if you're at 6% today, you're buying it at the inflated discount of whatever inflation is at, which I think it's at like 9% or something like that right now. Which is mind-boggling, by the way. So there's that. The other thing is that fewer and fewer people are buying virtually. Fewer and fewer are buying sight unseen or video only, or just kind of, buying because they can, because interest rates are so low. So what that means for y'all is that it's a good time to be a buyer. It's a good time to shop. It's a good time to compare and contrast houses. You don't have to buy the first thing you see. Finally, this is a gift. Even though the interest rates are higher than they were in January, historically speaking, going back to the beginning of interest rates and mortgages in time, we're still at a very comfortable level. I think when my mom bought her last house, she was in like the 10s or 11s or something like that, and she had a great rate at that time. This was 20 years ago or something like that. But so just to kind of bear in mind, have that frame of reference. A reference of years, not months, because the swings within a year don't count. They're not a good baseline. They're not a good metric against which you can determine if it's a good time to buy or sell or not. You just can't do that. What you can do is look back to actual market crises like 2008 or 1982 or 88 or whatever. The 80s were amazingly bad for buying houses, but people still bought houses, and they're financing in the 20s of percents. That's like as bad as you can get today in the 20s, and not even for houses. In the houses, you don't even reach 15% probably if you have no assets and you're doing hard money and no proof of income or anything like that. But if you're getting a conventional or conventional-ish non-QC type loan, QC or non-QC, which is just qualifying or non-qualifying, you're getting single-digit interest rate percentages. So I cannot emphasize enough how stupid it would be for someone to wait to buy because they want to wait out the market, or to wait to sell because they want to wait out the market. Because two things are going to happen. Interest rates are going to continue to go up a little bit, probably for the next couple of months, and then they're going to start to come back down in earnest. But by then, all the buyers who have money and aren't afraid to use it to lock in their rates or lock in their house. Actually, that's what you're doing right now, by the way. You're not locking in your rate, you're you're courting your rate, you're dating your rate, but you're locking in your house. If you find the home of your dreams and you think, I'm not gonna do it today because it's 6%, you're gonna lose it. Somebody else is gonna buy it because they see that 6% is not gonna be 6% in 3 or 4 months, probably. It's gonna go back down. They're gonna refinance into their 4% or 5% or whatever it is, or 3%, who knows, I don't know. But that's just what's gonna happen. You cannot wait. If you're thinking of selling, property values, property values just aren't falling. They're if you need to sell quickly, you might have to bring them down a little bit. But if you don't mind waiting on the market for 2 or 3 or 4 or 5 or 6 months, just price it well. Price it like a sane person in real life, and you'll be fine. So in other words, it's a great time to sell. It's not, there's no clock ticking that says if you don't sell today, you're gonna lose all your money tomorrow or something like that. So in that case, if you're thinking of selling, if you think you might sell, you might as well sell now while it's easy for these buyers to lock in their, not psychotically high rate, which is probably not going to happen anyway. But and while we still have low inventory, you have minimal competition, half to a third of normal competition currently in like Oswego and West Linn, or less. While there are still pandemic frenzy pricing hangover effects kind of sticking around, you know what I mean? Where like prices are still kind of high. They're not like record-breaking highs, and they're not gonna like change the entire price per square foot, of a community based off of 1 or 2 house sales, but they're healthy, strong sale numbers. So anyway, if you're thinking of selling, now's a good time. It will be a good time tomorrow. It'll just be a lot harder tomorrow because your buyers are going to get priced out. The homes, more homes will come onto the market. Your own competition, dear seller, is going to increase. So do it now while the pond is empty. Be the only fish in the pond. And then buyers, as we all know, date your rate, marry your house. So anyway, Adam Davis with Adam Davis Real Estate. Let's go do this thing.